13 mistakes teachers make when using reinforcement. Most teachers have probably heard about or read the argument against using rewards or reinforcers. You know, the one that says that you need to develop intrinsic motivation in your students. And it's presented as a binary choice or a zero-sum game. Extrinsic bad, intrinsic good. And this is such a simplification of the much more complex way that we interact with reinforcers in our lives. This is part of a series about reinforcement and rewards and how you can use them more effectively. In this video, you will learn some of the biggest mistakes that teachers make when using reinforcers and how you can avoid making those mistakes and gain more benefit from using reinforcement, rewards, and incentives. How you can increase the effectiveness of rewards and encouragement with your students and reduce the likelihood of off-task or inappropriate student behaviour. I'm Mari Amaro. I'm a teacher, presenter and author, and I've been working with students and teachers for over 30 years. I'm passionate about helping teachers improve teaching and learning practices, and I combine research and experience to provide strategies that improve student learning by improving classroom management. I focus on those practices that take little or no extra teacher time and strategies that can actually give you back time by helping you to work more effectively. I love coaching teachers, and I emphasise teacher wellbeing because improved teacher wellbeing means improved student wellbeing, and that contributes to better academic and social outcomes for all our students. If you'd like to learn more, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell. You know the drill. We put out 2 videos every week, so make sure you don't miss any of the content. When you subscribe, that helps to support the channel and means that we can get the videos out to more teachers. And if you know anyone you think would benefit from this information, please share with colleagues, friends and family. Everyone knows a teacher or someone who works in a school. And if you have any questions or topics that you'd like me to cover, please let us know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. There are so many differing views on what positive reinforcement actually is and whether you should or should not use it. Positive reinforcement can be a variety of things. It may be the grades on a report card, verbal praise, non-verbal acknowledgement, specific feedback, as well as tangible rewards. And the reality is that something is only positive reinforcement for a student if it works for the student to increase the behaviour that you want to see. Number 1, when teachers don't address the learning. When you're trying to figure out why a student displays certain behaviour, it's essential that you look at the curriculum and the pedagogy. Is the learning relevant and engaging for the student? Is it related to the student's prior understandings and background knowledge? Have the tasks been differentiated to suit the way the student learns? 80% of students with behaviour issues also have learning issues, and their academic progress has been hindered. Sometimes addressing the learning issues can alleviate many of the behaviour problems for the student because they're starting to feel successful at school. If you want to learn more about how you can tailor the learning for your student, check out our videos on differentiation and also how to engage students more effectively. Number 2, teachers limit the use of rewards to tangible objects. Reinforcement is not just tangible motivators such as lollies or stickers, but also includes praise, feedback and positive comments. Tangible rewards are much more effective when they're paired with positive feedback from a trusted adult. Rewards can also be free time, a game, time with a friend, being the leader or the helper in the class. The list can be endless. And in your complex role as a teacher, you play an important part in developing the whole child. So the feedback you give kids can teach them how to monitor their behaviour, how to assess their own work, and can help them to label their feelings and assist them to understand what's happening for them. For example, you could use this comment when you're giving a tangible reward. Tom, you must feel proud of yourself for how well you've improved. Number 3, Teachers don't use rewards strategically. According to John Magg in his seminal article, Rewarded by Punishment, positive and negative reinforcement occur naturally in the classroom. So it makes sense to decide in advance the behaviours that you want to reinforce rather than inadvertently or haphazardly reinforcing negative behaviours. Whatever you give attention to will increase in intensity and frequency. So make sure that you're putting more of your energy into the behaviour that you want to encourage. Number 4, when teachers don't give rewards promptly. For a reward to be effective, it needs to be administered as close to the task as possible. When a student has to wait too long for the reward, it loses its meaning and appeal. This is particularly important for younger students. Think of reinforcement or rewards as feedback, and the closer it's given to the behaviour, the more effective it is in changing behaviour and promoting positive student behaviours. Number 5, setting unachievable goals. Set achievable, realistic goals with your students. For example, if a student has not completed any work in your maths class all year, the goal for them may be to complete 30% of the work. And while you may want them to complete all their work, the goal of 100% completion will be much too difficult to achieve when you first begin. Ensure that the student can achieve the behavioural or academic goal. If you make the goal too difficult and the student doesn't feel that they can achieve it, they will not be motivated to put in any effort. 6, when teachers don't use rewards enough. As long as your praise and rewards are genuine, they will be effective. Some teachers and adults think that if they're too positive, the students will not respond, but the opposite is true. When students feel that they have earned authentic praise, they'll be more motivated to repeat the behaviour. Not giving enough praise and encouragement can have the impact of demotivating students, and it fails to teach them to celebrate small wins in their learning, which is something that teachers need to remember as well. Students who lack confidence at school may not have experienced academic success, so the use of external reinforcers such as teacher praise or tangible rewards is necessary to help them on the path to getting some kind of internal motivation. And depending on the age of the student and their past behaviour, you need to use reinforcement that will improve the current situation. For example, if a student does no work, reward 10 minutes of work. If a student refuses to enter the classroom, reward entering and sitting down. And once that's occurring consistently, you can move on to a new goal. Number 7, you can use rewards too much. Now, this may sound like the opposite of number 6, but it's really just emphasising the need for authenticity and understanding your students' needs. Going overboard with praise and rewards devalues the positive reinforcement and can come across as meaningless. Positive reinforcement needs to be carefully aligned with the needs of the student, and you need to use it the least amount necessary to achieve the goal. It's finding that sweet spot. The reinforcer can also be faded with time as the student consistently displays the behaviour. That is, they need to achieve more to gain the same reward. Number 8, teachers using it but lack sincerity. Reinforcement must be genuine and authentic to be valued by the students. Otherwise, it will not achieve your desired result. Be truthful about what has been achieved. Compare it to students' past efforts and look towards continuous improvement. Being genuine and sincere in your interactions with your students is part of how you build positive relationships with them. And when students know you care about them and that you're doing your best to support them, they will respond to your feedback positively. Number 9, not giving specific behavioural feedback to the student. When you want your students to repeat a behaviour or learn a new behaviour, it's helpful to give them specific feedback about that behaviour. For example, if a student who continually calls out, raises their hand, or waits their turn to speak, give them specific feedback such as, "Thanks, Tim, for waiting your turn to speak." That reinforces the behaviour and lets them know that what they did was appropriate. When you praise student effort and improvement, for example, You're getting better at waiting, Tim. Rather than their ability or talent, you can help your students to develop a growth mindset. Consider what you say, because when you say something like, "You're so clever, Tim," you're limiting that student's ability and promoting a fixed mindset. If you'd like to learn more about what having high expectations for your students means, check out our videos where we talk about what high expectations means and then how to show your students that you have high expectations for them. Number 10, teachers use rewards that are not meaningful to the student. Sometimes teachers rack their brains trying to think of appropriate rewards for students and either use what they have found works for others or try something that works for them. I've found that the best way is to go to the source. Ask the student. If the student has trouble thinking of what will reinforce them, you can make some suggestions and discuss what appeals to them. And make sure that there's some choices so they don't get bored with the same reward. You know, we all would get sick of chocolate if that's the only reward we were ever given. Number 11, teachers stop using them too soon. Some teachers lose heart when a student's behaviour doesn't change or they feel that the reward has stopped working. When you're working with a student with challenging behaviour, there will be times when a particular reinforcer does not work. That doesn't mean that reinforcement doesn't work. It means that you need to think more creatively and involve the student in the decision making. Number 12, using rewards and reinforcement as add-ons rather than an integral part of your teaching. When positive reinforcement is part of the fabric of your classroom, it doesn't feel like extra work, and students will participate in that, giving each other positive feedback and encouragement. Number 13, not using natural reinforcers. When a student raises their hand instead of calling out, the natural reinforcement is to be called on to answer. When a student completes their work early, they get to have free time or a choice of activities, not extra work either. Check out our videos on why a positive classroom culture is important and how you can create a positive, safe, predictable learning environment for your students that is great for you as well as for your students. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and happy teaching.